This broadcast is a Stephen K. Media production.
The success of the small business person is the cornerstone of the American economy. Welcome to the Small Business Today Show with your hosts, Cruz and Hughes. The Small Business Today Show is for and about small business advancement and development. What we do for you. We'll be taking your calls as we provide you small business intelligence and mentorship needed to grow your business creatively. Keep listening. The Small Business Today Show with Cruz and Hughes starts now.
Hello and welcome back to today's episode of Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes right here on Blog Talk Radio. This is where we broadcast every day, Monday through Friday, from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. And the topic here is small business and everything entrepreneurial. This is the place that we discuss the topics that inspires entrepreneurs from thought to action. So if you're listening to us, you must be an entrepreneur, and sit back and prepare to be enlightened and taught something. Would you agree with that, Eric?
I would agree with that wholeheartedly, man. you know, it's hard to listen to this show and not do it with a pen and paper in hand.
Well, you know, I'm going to tell you this. It's hard to host this show and not do it with a pen and paper in hand.
Well, that's very true.
You know, I'm going to tell you, the thing that encourages me, I learn just as much sometimes as I'm teaching.
True. That is very true. And you know what? I really believe, John, that's one of the reasons why we enjoy teaching.
I think so.
Yeah, because we actually have to learn quite a bit about the subject matter at hand, because quite honestly, some of you folks are going to call and ask us questions.
That's right. And that's what we hope you do. And if you did want to call us, you could do so right now.
That's right.
At 347-857-3958. That's our number right here in the studio. And again, that number is 347-857-3958. Let me remind you, you could always go to cruzandhughes.com.
That's right.
And you can listen to archive shows. We have a stream there where you can go right on and watch us live in the studio every single day. So definitely go on, check the website. We got more things coming in the future.
Sure.
And interact with us. Let us know what you need. How can we help you? How can we assist you? Irv and I have a vast array of contacts.
That's right.
And we dip out of that knowledge quite often. And if we need to do so for you, please just get in touch with us. You could always email me at john@cruzandhughes.com, or you could email Irv
at Irvin@cruzandhughes.com.
And Irvin is spelled ERVIN.
Right, not the correct way, with an I.
Right. It's spelled his way.
That's right.
Now, you know, I'm not in a suit today.
Yeah, and I'm stunned by that. You know, I always feel underdressed on this show.
Well, today you got me beat.
Well,
but, you know, I'm not in a suit because today is like my Monday.
Yeah, I understand that.
You know, and if any of you are not friends with Irvin and I on Facebook, you should do so.
That's right.
We post pictures and crazy Irvisms and Johnisms on there from time to time. We also have a Facebook page for this show, so we encourage you to get on there as well. But nonetheless, Irv and I played some golf yesterday.
Oh, man.
And you want to tell them how great we did?
Man, we did fantastic. In fact, we had the lowest score in the tournament.
Did we really?
Yeah, we really did.
Wow, I don't know how that was, because we didn't play the first 9 holes.
Well, that's right.
Well, I tell you, we got to the course late. For some reason, our schedule was off. We thought we were supposed to tee off at 11 o'clock. And
yeah.
We actually teed off at 8 that morning. But nonetheless, the few holes that we did play, we had a great time, met some good people. We were at the WBEA, which is the Women's Business Enterprise Alliance. They have their annual golf tournament, which we are sponsors of, and we got there late.
That's right.
But we did have a good time. The ladies had a phenomenal layout. We had great lunch. It was just an awesome time.
I was, you know, I'm always encouraged and thrilled by the folks at WBEA, John. And one of the reasons why I'm always encouraged to be around them is because, yes, they're business people. Yes, they're professionals. Yes, they're ladies. But boy, let me tell you what, the enthusiasm in the room, John.
Well, you know, that's that feminine energy.
Yeah, it's what it is, man. It was girl power.
Oh, man. And the guys were on their best behavior.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. That's what I was going to say, man, is that it's amazing how when a bunch of guys get together, it gets a little rowdy.
Oh, it gets nasty.
Maybe a little edgy.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
But guys, when there's ladies around, man, they're on their best behavior.
The conversation is much cleaner.
Yeah.
You know, and nobody's smoking cigars.
No. It was absolutely amazing. So I always enjoy going to their events, and then they had a great silent auction over there. Where
Yes, they did.
Sold off some great sports paraphernalia. Well,
how much did they say they raised?
I don't know. I don't remember what the number was because I was busy stuffing my face with barbecue.
Well, I want to say it was something in the neighborhood of like $13,000.
Man, that was great because I was going to say the thing was only going for like what, an hour?
Hour and a half,
something like that.
Yeah, not bad at all.
Not bad.
So if you're not familiar with the WBEA, we definitely encourage you to go to their website, which I believe is www.wbea.org.
That's correct.
Okay.
.org.
And it's an organization that is for small businesses. They help women-owned businesses. They give teaching. They give training. However, they are gender neutral.
Right.
I mean, they give information to men. They help men out in their small business as well. So if you do need some help, if you do need some assistance, you can definitely go to that website, and they may have an office in your city, village, or hamlet, wherever you may be located.
Hamlet?
Your hamlet.
Hamlet.
Now, I don't know what constitutes a hamlet. I mean, I don't know if you only have like 4 buildings in your town. I think that's a hamlet. If you got more than 4, now it's a town.
I appreciate you educating me, because I really thought you were talking about a little tiny sandwich.
A hamlet.
Yeah.
A little piece of
just a little piece
of pig or something.
A piece of a ham sandwich. I thought that's what you were talking about. So I really appreciate you educating me.
No
John
problem.
is always great for educating us on this show.
I'll always make sure I give details.
Thank you, man.
All right, we're going to talk a little bit about working an event.
Yes.
You know, there is a lost art of networking that's out here, and we do a lot of networking on this show.
No doubt.
Stephen K is somewhere like Everett. I don't even think he has a refrigerator. I mean, he goes to events all the time. He knows exactly where he can get a meal, where I can get a free glass of wine. I mean, Stephen K is really the man. If you don't know what's going on, you definitely want to go to his website because he keeps things on there. It's Stephen K Live. Is it Stephen K Live?
Yeah, it's StephenKLive.com.
StephenKLive.com. If you're in the Houston area and you're always if you're looking to do something on a business level, go to Stephen K's website. He'll definitely keep you encouraged by where you can go and meet some good folks. But we see networking done so poorly that Irv thought it proper for us to talk about networking, the do's, the don'ts, why you do it, what's it all for, and it shouldn't be a lost art. Networking is an essential, a vital aspect of running a business. You are not going to be successful in business without networking, period. You pick up any business book that has sold more than 100,000 copies, and I guarantee you the person who's written that book talks about networking in some way, shape, or form, and they bet you that they're telling you that their success is due in large part to someone else's contacts or how someone else has helped them get along.
That's right.
So my thing is, Irv, why don't we start with the business machine? Yeah,
and well, I want to back up one click before that.
Me up.
I want to back up one click before that, and that is circulating.
Okay.
A lot of people don't make time to circulate.
Now, what does that mean?
Circulating means that you are out of your office, out of your house, out from around everybody that you already know. Are you circulating? Are you going on Stephen K Live and finding somewhere to go because you hadn't been before?
Yeah.
That's the point. That's what I mean by circulating. Folks, it's important that you go places that you hadn't gone before. It's important that you go and meet people that you hadn't met before.
You know why? So you can earn money that you've not ever earned before.
That's exactly right. And that is what is separating many people, John, from where they are now and where they want to go.
I liken that to my analogy of your business being a tanker or a large ship, if you will. And if you think about those ships that were used in the early 20th century, they all ran on coal.
That's right.
And they had hundreds of men working in the belly of that beast that were shoveling the coal necessary to get that thing from the Atlantic to the Pacific or to the Mediterranean.
Right.
Your business is that engine. It does not move unless somebody is in that business shoveling coal. However, you are the captain of that vessel.
That's right.
And you cannot be shoveling coal all day because who's upstairs minding the minding the captain's
you're
deck.
going to get in trouble.
Who's upstairs navigating and forecasting what waters are safe, what areas we should be sailing towards? Who's doing that if you're down in the belly shoveling coal?
That's exactly right. And that's the point. When we get into this the business machine, I wanted to back up a step, John, because a lot of people, before we get into talking about the machine itself, a lot of people violate the very first principle, and that is trying to sit behind your desk or hide in your company. Get out. All right, just get out. Go find you something to do, somewhere where you can contribute, and circulate. Get around where there's groups of people. I had this. When I was building one of my companies, John, one of the things people used to tease me about is they used to say, Irv, you act like you're running for governor.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was always out circulating, shaking hands, meeting people. It's a shame. I probably demeaned myself, but I used to call it gripping and grinning.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, it probably sounds bad if your grandmother says
That's
that.
right.
Stop all that gripping and grinning and get in there and wash those dishes.
That's right.
But as it relates to business, that is part of the business machine. That's part of the model.
Absolutely.
Somebody has to be doing that. And if there's no one in your organization that is doing that, then it's incumbent upon you as the entrepreneur, as the leader of that team, to make certain that you're out there. You can't be too tired at the end of the day. You have to put some events on the calendar. We're going to talk a little bit more when we come out of the break on how to strategize and where to go, who to network with. We're going to talk about those things today. Also, too, if you're in the Houston area and you are looking for a place to go and network, you can always go to www.smallbusinesstodaymagazine.com. Click on free business tools, then click on calendar.
All right.
And on there, you have an extensive business calendar of all the things that are happening in and around the Houston area for entrepreneurs. Guys, you're listening to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes, which is brought to you by none other than Small Business Today magazine. To get your free copy of what we do and look at some of the free tools, go to www.smallbusinesstodaymagazine.com. More in a moment with John and Irv when we come back.
Turn up the sales on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Anything Internet will evaluate your website for marketing power, for traffic, for conversion rates. We'll figure out why people buy and why people go away. We'll help you generate the correct traffic that will turn into customers and make you money. Turn the juice up on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Turn your website into a web business. 1-800-686-5986.
Very often, people come to me saying,
Stephen, how do I make radio advertising work?
or even worse,
We've tried radio ads before and got little to no response.
so how do you make the radio work for you? Well, you could have a clever jingle.
Come buy my stuff. Come buy my stuff.
Or you may act crazy and loud and have an unbeatable offer.
I'll save you cash, I'll save you time, and I'll do it today, guaranteed.
But these techniques may work for some and not for others. The real key to advertising is to go back to basic marketing principles. Target your ideal prospect, make your message clear and concise, and touch the listener by connecting to their needs. Stephen K. Media specializes in radio advertising promotion that effectively broadcasts your company's message, yielding higher response and better results. As an independent agency representing major talk radio stations, we help you negotiate rates and place your ads targeting your ideal prospect. Call us today at 713-278-9109 or visit stephenk.biz. That's 713-278-9109 or email info@stephenk.biz. Are you looking to improve your health and well-being? Have you lost your energy and vitality? Do you wake up feeling 10 years older than you actually are? Looking for a doctor who really listens? Looking for a natural alternative to your chronic health challenge? Dr. Dan Cooney is a chiropractic nutritionist who helps restore your health from the inside out using whole food supplements and specific nutritional counseling. Learn more about Dr. Dan's 7 Pillars of Health on his website, drdancooney.com, or give him a call at 713-295-9358.
Introducing the alternative to heavy news. Now,
Excuse me, heavy news?
you know, disasters, politics, stock market,
And this alternative is...
coffee news. It's entertaining stories, famous quotes, and family fun. It's light news. Why it's so light, it's free.
Free?
In restaurants and coffee shops all across Houston. So next time you're waiting in a restaurant, look for coffee news. If they don't have it, tell them to get it by visiting coffeenewshouston.com.
It's light. It's free. It's coffee news.
Now playing at Regal Entertainment Group Theaters.
From Christopher Nolan. The storm coming. The legend ends in IMAX. What are you? I'm Costume Director. The Dark Knight Rises. Rated PG-13. Visit IMAX.com for showtimes and listings.
Go to www.regmovies.com to find showtimes and buy your tickets to this and other great feature films now. That's www.regmovies.com.
You're listening to Small Business Today. Visit us on the web at cruiseandhughes.com. Here are your hosts, Cruz and Hughes.
Okay, welcome back to the show. You're listening to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes. We're talking today about networking, the power of networking, and why you should be doing it. As Irv and I mentioned in the first segment, networking is an essential part of your business model. If it isn't, then it has to become part of that model. You have to add that to what you do. There should be so many events. And I'm going to tell you, Irv, I definitely believe that the earlier your business is in its formation, the more networking you have to do.
No doubt.
If a company has been in business 25 years, then, at which point the guy who owns that business probably could get away with networking once a week.
Well, that's very true. And not only that, but your role sort of changes during the period of your development.
Right.
For example, when you're starting out in business, folks, it's important that you get out and circulate and network. As John and I talked about, shoveling coal. Well, at some point, you get out of that business, your role sort of changes. And now, and it'll happen almost without your knowledge, folks. You'll all of a sudden become the guy that other people who are getting started are trying to network with.
Right.
And that's just because as you get more and more known, as your circle and your sphere of influence grows, you start to have resources like John and I, where, quite frankly, you can help a lot of businesses grow simply because you've been at it so long, you've been in it so long, you've been so successful at it, that now you've gathered those resources, those tools, those people that you can refer others to.
Absolutely. Absolutely. When I think of networking, Irv, one of the things that I learned from my mentor is the sphere of 350.
Sphere of 350?
That's what he taught me.
Now, what is that about?
The sphere of 350 means that each person that's in your network knows 350 people.
Wow.
So if you were to draw a circle around every person that's in your network and those being closest to you, you're going to have a lot of overlapping circles.
Right, no doubt.
So then, that's what that 6 degrees of separation that we always talk about.
Sure.
So the thing is that you have to understand that every person has value.
No doubt.
And each person knows 350 people. So you need to figure out which 350 people these people know,
right,
and that they have the ability to influence,
right,
and figure out how you can influence them to influence their sphere of 350, especially as it relates to sending you a customer, giving you knowledge, something that would benefit or help what you're trying to do.
And that's good, John, because quite frankly, skilled networking will help you be a part of conversations that you won't be in otherwise.
Certainly.
In other words, when the conversation is about you, but you're not there, and it's positive, that's skillful networking at work.
That's great.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
When somebody is saying, hey, how about getting John Cruz to do that? And John Cruz is not in the room.
Right.
That's good networking. When somebody is saying, hey, how about getting your company to do something or be involved in something, but you yourself were not in the room, you were not present at the time this exchange happened, that means that you did something that was significant enough, you networked enough, you were able to foster a relationship strong enough that someone, without your being present, brought up your name in a positive way. And
we all live for that.
We all do.
I mean, that's you're doing it right when that happens.
No doubt.
Now, I gotta say this as well, Irv. Some people like playing the lottery.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't play it, but I do enjoy the feeling of wondering if I'm going to win.
That's right.
That's a good feeling.
That's a great feeling.
Now, the terrible part is there's a snowball's chance
That's right.
that you're actually going to win, and that's why I don't play. But nonetheless, that feeling is still good to have. So look at your networking as though it's playing the lottery. When you get to an event, you never know who you're going to meet.
That's true.
So it's like every person is a scratch-off ticket.
That's great.
So you want to walk up to every single person there, extend your hand, ask them who they are, what they do, and talk to them about what it is that you do.
Absolutely.
And you're always just one handshake away from, and you fill in that blank, from your next $1 million deal, from your next great attorney, from someone referring you the type of employee that you're looking for, from you fill in the blank.
That's right. And I mean, this could be a key relationship.
Absolutely.
And what's more important, you could be a facilitator of a key relationship, and you could benefit from that. See, that thing works both ways.
That door swings out and in.
That is exactly right. And I can't tell you the number of times that I've run into great opportunities for myself when I was facilitating a relationship that I didn't think I was going to be a part of, but I was trying to help somebody else. And sure enough, wow, how appreciative are these folks when they connect up and it becomes a really valuable connection, and all of a sudden they want to remember you. And how cool is that? I mean, that's worth season tickets to the
Don't
Houston,
say the
Texas.
Rockets. Oh, there you go.
No,
all right.
no, Houston, Texas.
I'm sorry, Rockets. We still love you.
Oh man.
Okay, now let's talk about some reasons to network.
Sure, absolutely.
And some people say that most of my business comes by referral, or I don't really have the time. And they give you every excuse in the world not to network. And there are so many excuses to network. So let me say this: if your sales are down,
that's a good reason.
You should be networking 4 nights a week.
That's right. I agree with that.
4 nights a week.
That's right.
You should be going somewhere, spending at least 2 hours of your evening at some event where business-minded individuals are who can either assist you in your business by bringing innovative thoughts, ideas, personnel, money, or business. Sales. So, if your sales are down, you're not networking enough. Period. End of story.
How about if you need help? You got to find some employees. You got to find some advisors. You got to find some consultants. You need help.
You should be networking.
You should be networking.
If you can't find good people, and you know how many times we hear that, good people are hard to find, especially for someone that spends their entire day shoveling coal.
That's right. If you're shoveling coal, guess what, folks? The coal shovelers are where you are, and the people you need aren't there.
You need a mentor.
You need a mentor, a coach.
You should be networking.
Absolutely.
You should be getting out and meeting people and shaking hands, finding more about someone else.
That's right. That's right. And the last thing, and this is probably of the list, and this is not to belittle the point, folks, but boy, if you need some fresh ideas.
Oh, yeah.
If you need some fresh ideas, folks, get out. Start circulating.
Right.
I have this thing, John, where, and I guess you and I both do this to probably a large degree, where we can get an opportunity to serve. And if our serving means that we're going to engage in a particular, take an invitation for a speaking engagement, for example, I've noticed that a lot of people really kind of shy away from some engagement where they're going to have to speak to a crowd of people.
Yes, I was that person.
And quite frankly, if you're a small business person and your expertise can be brought to bear to the benefit of some others, hey, don't be shy about sharing your knowledge and expertise with others, especially if it's going to be a crowd of folks. That's important to do.
Well, and that goes back to that point you're saying when you say needing ideas,
right?
When you need something most,
right?
The quickest way to get it for yourself is to find someone else that you can give something to.
No doubt.
So if you're networking, you have to, as you put it earlier, that door has to swing both ways.
Right.
If you need something, go out and be a benefit to somebody else. There's somebody else that's going to be networking with you that has not figured out a problem that you probably have already solved early on in your business. Go out with the mindset that either I'm going to be a blessing to someone else, or someone else is going to be a blessing to me. Either way, a blessing is going to take place this evening.
No doubt. And it's interesting, you use the word blessing, but that's what it is.
That's exactly. I don't know how else to describe that.
That's exactly what it is. Because, blessings really do come through relationships, folks. And quite frankly, that's the business that we're all in.
That's right.
All of us are in the business of relationships. No matter what it is you're selling, no matter what it is you're doing, that's the business we're in. And if you're not skilled and you're not practicing, and I'm using the word practicing here, if you're not practicing on how to get better at building new relationships, boy, you're gonna have a short-lived stint of success.
I'm glad you brought that up because they say practice makes perfect.
That's right.
And so for you to be an effective networker, not only do you have to plan your networking,
right,
but you have to practice, which means that you have to get in there and get it. My biggest fear, Irv, would be small talk.
Yeah.
Once we got past the salutations, that was pretty much it. I was lost.
Yeah.
But then slowly I started to develop ways that I could hone that craft so that I could at least keep a conversation going, flowing, and it remained interesting.
Sure.
And it takes practice.
It really does. And one of the first keys is don't know everything.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
let me tell you this. The quieter you are, the smarter you look.
That's exactly right.
So think about it. The more you talk, the worse this relationship gets.
Oh my goodness, man! You know what? And it's just so true. And I'll, what? Before we go to break, I want to throw this in too. Always leave 5 minutes before they wish you had. That's just something.
Some people just don't know when that is.
Yes, just food for thought. Folks, you're listening to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes, and it's brought to you by Sales Nexus. Listen, if you need a good customer relationship management system, consider Sales Nexus for your customer relationship management system, and you can do so. You can learn more by going to salesnexus.com. You can download a 30-day free trial copy, install that, and start putting prospects in your database the same day you get it. More in a moment, right after this.
Turn up the sales on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Anything Internet will evaluate your website for marketing power, for traffic, for conversion rates. We'll figure out why people buy and why people go away. We'll help you generate the correct traffic that will turn into customers and make you money. Turn the juice up on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Turn your website into a web business. 1-800-686-5986.
Very often, people come to me saying,
Stephen, how do I make radio advertising work?
Or even worse,
we've tried radio ads before and got little to no response.
So how do you make the radio work for you? Well, you could have a clever jingle.
Come buy my stuff. Come buy my stuff.
Or you may act crazy and loud and have an unbeatable offer.
I'll save you cash. I'll save you time, and I'll do it today, guaranteed.
But these techniques may work for some and not for others. The real key to advertising is to go back to basic marketing principles. Target your ideal prospect, make your message clear and concise, and touch the listener by connecting to their needs. Stephen K. Media specializes in radio advertising promotion that effectively broadcasts your company's message, yielding higher response and better results. As an independent agency representing major talk radio stations, we help you negotiate rates and place your ads targeting your ideal prospect. Call us today at 713-278-9109 or visit stephenk.biz. That's 713-278-9109 or email info@stephenk.biz. Are you looking to improve your health and well-being? Have you lost your energy and vitality? Do you wake up feeling 10 years older than you actually are? Looking for a doctor who really listens? Looking for a natural alternative to your chronic health challenge? Dr. Dan Cooney is a chiropractic nutritionist who helps restore your health from the inside out using whole food supplements and specific nutritional counseling. Learn more about Dr. Dan's 7 Pillars of Health on his website, drdancooney.com, or give him a call at 713-295-9358.
Introducing the alternative to heavy news. Now at...
Excuse me, heavy news?
You know, disasters, politics, stock market.
And this alternative is...
Coffee news. It's entertaining stories. business quotes, and family fun. It's light news. Why it's so light, it's free.
Free?
In restaurants and coffee shops all across Houston. So next time you're waiting in a restaurant, look for coffee news. If they don't have it, tell them to get it by visiting coffeenewshouston.com.
It's light. It's free. It's coffee news.
Now playing at Regal Entertainment Group Theaters.
From Christopher Nolan. The storm's coming. The legend ends in IMAX. What are you? I'm Gotham's reckoning. The Dark Knight Rises. Rated PG-13. Visit IMAX.com for showtimes and listings.
Go to www.regmovies.com to find showtimes and buy your tickets to this and other great feature films now. That's www.regmovies.com.
You're listening to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes. Follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. We're wherever you are.
Okay, welcome back to the show. Irv and I are talking about Networking 101. This is more than just networking. This is something it's an essential part of your small business that has to be worked to its fullest. The results of which, I have to say, Irv, some people try to measure their networking by, I went to 3 events, I met one person, this doesn't work, I'm giving up.
Yeah, and you know what? When you think like that, you're already in trouble.
Yeah.
That's not how it works.
Yeah.
You first of all, we mentioned earlier in the earlier segment, John, we were talking about planning. And the first thing is, obviously, you want to set up, you want to do some planning, do a little bit of research on understanding who that audience is that's going to be a part of that event. And then when you go to the event, folks, if you met one person and you were in a room with 300 people, really whose fault is that?
Right.
That's not how you measure it. I've gone to networking events, John, where I may have been in a room with 300 or 400 people, but I met 4 very key people.
Right.
And my reason for going was to run into or meet or otherwise introduce myself to those 4 very key important people to my business objectives.
Let me tell you a story. When I was in the mortgage banking business, I wanted to become an instructor in the real estate department at Houston Community College.
Sure.
And I had a guy that worked for me at the time who was already an instructor who came back and told me that the guy who hired the instructors was giving a class in Dallas.
Yes.
And so the people that were in that class, I want to say there were maybe 80, 85 people in this real estate class.
Right.
I drove all the way to Dallas, paid a couple $100 to take the class just to have the opportunity, and stayed in the same hotel that his name was Alex Binkley. And Alex, if you're listening, I appreciate everything that you did for me back then. It really helped my business. But I stayed in the same hotel, and I made it my mission to not only meet Alex, but have an opportunity to sit with him for a few minutes and talk about what I was doing, how I was doing it, and how being an instructor at the college would not only benefit my business, but it would benefit what they were doing.
Sure.
And after a couple of cognacs sitting in the lobby, he offered me a job teaching there. I didn't even have to ask.
That's right.
And so my thing is that once you plan out and you figure out who there could be 2,000 people in the event.
That's right.
But if you strategically find the 1 or 2 that you think can make the biggest impact, make it your goal.
That's right.
To get to know those persons.
Now, I want to talk about money for just a second.
Go right ahead.
John, you just mentioned that you took the expense and the time to go and attend a function where this particular person, you had gathered some intel that said this person is going to be here.
That's right.
And so you took the time and the money. Now, I'm going to guess, a couple of few $100?
Yeah, maybe, $200 for the hotel room.
Yeah, okay, and travel.
Few $100 travel and
so let's just call it. Let's say you spent $500.
Right.
All right, but you spent $500, and you came back with the objective met that you wanted, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, now I'm going to guess, and I'm just going to stretch out here and guess that perhaps you made more than $500 as a result of your investment of $500.
Well, my teaching at that college helped me to put 130 licenses on my wall. So I made over $1 million as a result of having spent that $500.
That's why I wanted to talk about money, because sometimes, you can go out here, folks, and being a small business, and you would rather, sometimes we would tend to think that it would have been a better investment for John to have put $500 in the skillful hands of Payne Weber, and let them try to bring him back $1 million off of a $500 investment.
I'm not going to live that long.
Nobody.
I'm convinced that I won't live that long.
But here's the point. Because you are skilled at networking, your $500 was not spent. It was then invested.
It was invested.
Because you invested that time, energy, effort, and money expecting to make a return come back from that.
And let me say this, and I am a student myself, and I do have to follow good advice. I made that connection. It was a Friday and Saturday class. It was all day Friday, all day Saturday. We were going to come back on Sunday. Well, I made the connection Friday evening in the lobby of the hotel. There was no need for me to go to class on Saturday.
Right.
I was going to pack up and come back home on Saturday.
Right.
But the gentleman who worked for me said, John, I don't think that would leave the best impression.
Right.
You should go ahead and sit through Saturday's class.
That's right.
And let's leave Sunday morning as we planned.
That's right.
You don't want to make it look like you came down here just for that and
right.
you didn't follow through and finish the class.
Right.
And I said, you know what? You're right. We'll go ahead and stay. But it was tough for me to stay there because
Sure.
I was ready to go back
Sure.
and prepare
right.
for my meeting with him once he got back to Houston and all of that.
Yeah, but look at the investment of time. You shored up that relationship.
Right.
Because quite frankly, who knows what would have happened had you not. I think the effort, the investment of time and energy, effort, and money that you put forth to get there,
mm-hmm.
I think you would have diminished it had you left early.
I think so too.
I really
think I think it would have been a negative mark against my name
doubt.
had I did that.
I think you made a real value statement, is my point.
Thank you very much, sir.
Well, John, let's talk about, if you're trying to get going, right?
Right.
Who do you network with? Where do you start? I mean, put X on the map, John. Show me. I'm a brand new guy. I just hung out my shingle, and I don't even know where to start with this networking business, John, that you and Irv were talking about.
Well, let's hypothetically talk about that a little bit. Tell me, what do you do for a living?
Well, what I do for a living is I'm a consultant.
You're what type of consultant?
I'm a financial consultant.
Okay. First thing I would do.
What would you do?
As a financial consultant,
yes,
is I would start with any regulatory agency meetings.
Ooh, that's good.
So if I'm regulated by some sort of banking authority,
sure,
they always have annual meetings. They
right.
always have quarterly meetings.
Right.
The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to attend every single one of those meetings. You know why?
Why? Because
all of the people who are in the financial business, they're going to bring all of my clients to me in one room.
That's right.
So I'm going to be able to go there and just, it's like, would they say something about shooting fish in a barrel?
Yeah, shoot fish in a barrel.
That to me would be the place that I would start. And
right.
according to the business that you're in, regulatory agency meetings, if you're under some sort of regulatory agency, or if you are in some sort of trade organization, like had you told me that you were a contractor or you
sure.
were an engineer
sure.
and you built buildings or
right.
you did plans.
Right.
Well, the first thing I'm going to say is what type of trade organizations exist out there.
Right.
Start networking there.
Right.
That's the first place you want to start.
John, let's talk about chambers of commerce.
Okay.
Because a lot of times chambers of commerce, people look at those as places, they almost become like social organizations.
True.
But that's not really what a chamber, that's really not the best use of a chamber, is it?
Well, I don't think that's the focus of a chamber. However, it does become social. But I'm going to tell you, networking is social.
Sure.
If I don't like you on a social level, am I really going to give you an opportunity to serve me on a professional level?
Probably not.
No, I'm not. So the thing is that encourage the social aspect of what you're doing. Yes, it does turn into that. People want to know about you. Where'd you go to school? Where do you go to church? What type of corporate lineage do you have behind you? Where did you cut your teeth? They want to know those things
sure.
before they give you an opportunity. So social isn't bad, but I like networking through chambers of commerce. Now, I do believe it's more of a broad spectrum of networking.
Right.
You might have 100 people in the room, but there may only be be 5 or 6 that could really do something to impact your business.
Right.
However, then that's when you plug in your sphere of 350. Then you find the people who are on that outer sphere of the things that you do and people who may be able to refer you someone.
Now, let me ask you this, John, because you can provide some real insight on this, and that is, I started the show talking about circulation. Once you find where those places are and those people are, do you recommend circling back through there periodically, or is it something that you do on a regular basis? What do you say to that?
When you start networking, you want people to know you on a first name basis.
Sure.
The more often they see you, they're going to automatically, there's something in their brains that's going to click, and they're going to expect you. And just as much as they expect you at these types of business events, you want them, when they think about your business, you want that brain to click. You know what? I'm in financial trouble. I need a financial consultant. Irvin Hughes.
Right.
Gotcha. The guy that I see at all the chamber meetings, the guy that I see at all the trade organization meetings, as soon as my brain clicks, I'm going to click that. So you can't hit just one time and then expect to get a return. That it doesn't work that way.
Yeah. So you do want to have a regular diet, if you will, of getting out and getting into these opportunities.
I totally agree with that, Irv. You got to be seen. You got to be there. And you got to be an evangelist for your business.
No doubt.
Everything about you has to speak about what it is that you do. You don't want to be a secret agent when you're in business. I mean, and I know people who belong to chambers for years.
Yeah.
And then I'll ask someone, hey, what does Sally do? I really don't know.
Yeah. Now, why is that?
And she's paying dues.
Right.
For people that she sits next to for years, not to know what business she's in.
Right. How about continuing education?
Great place to network. Great place.
Because you're all stuck in class.
You're all stuck in class. It's a great place. And here's the thing, Irv. When you're networking in these events, your plan has to be different.
Right.
If I'm going to a regulatory agency event or an MCE class, I know I'm a real estate agent, and the room is full of other real estate agents. So I'm not going to find a customer in there, but I may find a mentor.
Right.
I may find someone who has a business relationship that could really improve or impact what I'm doing in my business. So my focus sort of changes in terms of what I'm looking for.
Wow, that's good. When we come back, John, we're going to pick up on networking mixers.
All right.
And what are mixers? And maybe you already know what a mixer is, but we're going to give you our definition when we come back. Folks, you're listening to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes. It's brought to you by RingCentral.com. To get RingCentral's virtual PBX for your business, you can call them today at 888-716-5022. More in a moment with John and Irv.
Turn up the sales on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Anything Internet will evaluate your website for marketing power, for traffic, for conversion rates. We'll figure out why people buy and why people go away. We'll help you generate the correct traffic that will turn into customers and make you money. Turn the juice up on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Turn your website into a web business. 1-800-686-5986.
Very often, people come to me saying,
Stephen, how do I make radio advertising work?
Or even worse,
we've tried radio ads before and got little to no response.
So how do you make the radio work for you? Well, you could have a clever jingle.
Come buy my stuff. Come buy my stuff.
Or you may act crazy and loud and have an unbeatable offer.
I'll save you cash, I'll save you time, and I'll do it today, guaranteed.
But these techniques may work for some and not for others. The real key to advertising is to go back to basic marketing principles. Target your ideal prospect, make your message clear and concise, and touch the listener by connecting to their needs. Stephen K. Media specializes in radio advertising promotion that effectively broadcasts your company's message, yielding higher response and better results. As an independent agency representing major talk radio stations, we help you negotiate rates and place your ads targeting your ideal prospect. Call us today at 713-278-9109 or visit stephenk.biz. That's 713-278-9109 or email info@stephenk.biz. Are you looking to improve your health and well-being? Have you lost your energy and vitality? Do you wake up feeling 10 years older than you actually are? Looking for a doctor who really listens? Looking for a natural alternative to your chronic health challenge? Dr. Dan Cuny is a chiropractic nutritionist who helps restore your health from the inside out using whole food supplements and specific nutritional counseling. Learn more about Dr. Dan's 7 Pillars of Health on his website, drdancuny.com, or give him a call at 713-295-9358.
Introducing the alternative to heavy news. Now at...
Excuse me, heavy news?
You know, disasters, politics, stock market.
And this alternative is...
Coffee news. It's entertaining stories, famous quotes, and family fun. It's light news. Why it's so light, it's free.
Free?
In restaurants and coffee shops all across Houston. So next time you're waiting in a restaurant, look for coffee news. If they don't have it, tell them to get it by visiting coffeenewshouston.com.
It's light. It's free. It's coffee news.
Now playing at Regal Entertainment Group Theaters.
From Christopher Nolan. The storm coming. The legend ends in IMAX. What are you? I'm Gotham Reckoning. The Dark Knight Rises. Rated PG-13. Visit IMAX.com for showtimes and listings.
Go to www.regmovies.com to find showtimes and buy your tickets to this and other great feature films now. That's www.regmovies.com.
You're listening to Small Business Today. Visit us on the web at cruzandhughes.com. Here are your hosts, Cruz and Hughes.
Okay, welcome back to the show. We're talking about networking and how essential it is for your business to be successful using networking, using the sphere of influence that not only you have, but the spheres of influence that everybody in your network has. You have to do everything in your power to leverage everything that's available to you as a small business person. And networking is one of those things that is very easy to do.
Sure.
It is time consuming.
Sure.
You do have to step outside of your so-called comfort zone.
Right.
But understand this, as an entrepreneur, I think most of us already adopt the mindset that life itself begins on the outer fringes of that so-called comfort zone. We step outside of that every day when we decide not to take a regular paycheck because we want to blaze our own trails.
Right.
We want to control our own destinies.
Right.
So if you're already stepping outside your comfort zone and accepting that, then meeting new people is very easy to do. It's just mindset.
That's right.
All right. Now, that's my soapbox. We were talking a little bit about where to start and who to network with, and I forget where we were on the list.
Oh, networking mixers.
Networking mixers.
Yeah. What's a mixer?
You know, Irv, and that's a really good question. For lack of a Merriam-Webster definition, I would think that the intent of mixers is to get like-minded business entrepreneurs in a time or to meet at a time and a place and discuss the possibilities of doing business with one another. But as you said earlier, sometimes they get really, really social.
That's right.
And sometimes people sort of lose sight and focus of why they're there,
right.
And it starts to turn into an almost speed dating scene.
That's right.
So those things happen.
That's right. They do.
But because that happens, then perhaps whatever group or organization is throwing that particular mixer, you just may not want to attend that one again.
Right.
But you don't just say no to all mixers.
Right. Now I gotta hit you with one.
Go ahead.
Because a lot of people have a lot of questions about this, and on this show, we're known. We'll pull the scab off of a sword.
Well, why not?
All right. How about this?
I've always been a scab picker.
A scab. Scab picker. Oh my gosh.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Stephen K's face was just priceless right there. But anyway, what about church? Church and business. Church and business.
The only thing I can say to that, Irv, is it's up to the individual. I mean, I know some people who are dead set against doing any sort of business whatsoever, or discussing business whatsoever on church grounds, in the Lord's house, as it were.
Right.
And then you have some people that will tell you that, hey, I know a guy in my church who does this. Well, how do you know that? Because he and I have talked about it.
Exactly.
So I think it's really to each his own.
Yeah. So I often wonder if there are church organizations who foster a culture and or environment where that's okay.
Now, that's a good. Now, you go to church,
sure,
and it's no secret,
right?
You go to Lakewood
Church, right?
And you're over there with the great Joel Osteen.
That's right.
Do you guys have any type of organization that promotes and encourages small business?
Oh, sure. There's all kinds of things that, I mean, there's a financial ministry, there's a business ministry, the women, professional women's ministry. I mean, there are whole ministries that are set up just to foster networking, really.
I support that wholeheartedly.
Yeah,
and I don't want to step on anybody's toes. I mean, some people feel that there should be a separation of business and church.
Yeah, and see,
I disagree with that.
I disagree. I think that if you're going to network, I think church is a great place to network.
Absolutely.
Even if you decide that this is not a good networking arrangement for me and this particular person, but we sit next to each other.
Yeah.
We sit across from each other because, church folks, if you don't know folks, church folks tend to sit where they want to and they stay in that place because they get to know the people around them somehow.
Right.
And so now that becomes a comfort zone,
That's
if you will, a comfort area. And I do that too. I'm guilty of it.
Even in Lakewood, as big as that place is?
Oh, yeah, but I move around, though.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if I have to charge my phone or something, I know where all the plugs are and all that kind of thing. So, but no, seriously, I think church is a great place to network.
I do, too. I mean, I know it's a sticky subject for some people.
I know it.
But I think it is. And I think, too, I probably would be more inclined to do business with someone that I worshiped with.
Right.
Because this is I'm going to see you every single week, even after the transaction has been completed. So both of us really should be on our best behavior.
That's right.
And sometimes that's not what happens. Sometimes, two people who worship in the same place do business and then they become mortal enemies. You know,
and I've seen that.
I've seen that as well.
And I think that's a tough ride right there.
It is.
Because quite honestly, I really believe that if you go to church with somebody, you worship with somebody, you want to cross that line and do some business with somebody, one of the things that you got to do going into this is extend what I'm going to call some grace.
Yeah.
Right. If things simply do not turn out well, or maybe even you were treated badly, let's just go there. Right.
Yeah.
You probably shouldn't use that as a reason to change churches or treat that person badly, such that thing starts to spread.
Yeah.
I think you cover for that.
And that's that one and done syndrome. I rarely do I approve of that type of thinking, one and done. Just because one was bad doesn't mean that you don't give it another chance.
And that's the point I'm getting at.
Yeah.
I think you really, in business, if you're going to go there, I think church is one of those places where you got to extend some grace.
Absolutely.
That's all I'm saying.
Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what, why don't we talk a little bit about the do's and don'ts?
That's a good one.
We bring things down to the bottom of the hour. There are some definite do's and don'ts as it relates to networking.
Yes,
and if we talk about some of the do's, these are some of the things that you want to be focused on.
Right.
When you get to the event, if you are scared to talk to people, act as if you're hosting the event. Ask people if they're having a good time. Walk around and ask someone, could you get them another drink, or could you get them another piece of chicken or something like that? And it sort of helps you sort of get out of your shell,
right?
And become someone that you really may not be, but it calls for that.
That's exactly right. And here is another do. Any connections you make, follow up on them immediately.
Absolutely.
Don't wait. If you make a connection, folks, make the follow up immediately. Send that email, send that text message, write a note, handwritten note. Do something, but follow up immediately. All
right, and we'll give 3 don'ts right after this. Another do is meet people you don't already know. Don't waste your time going there and meeting people that you already know. If you're there for a purpose, and your purpose is to grow and expand your business. Let's hit them with some don'ts.
Okay. Don't discuss religion, politics, or sensitive social matters.
Yeah, religion, politics, or the O.J. Simpson case. Stay away from topics like that. It doesn't help your business at all.
That's right.
Another don't be a wallflower. Don't get there and just sit there and lose sight of why you should be there. You're there to meet people, not to hold the wall up or not to guard the Kool-Aid. Go and meet folks.
And don't get drunk.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, if you're in a place where you're networking, where there's drinking going on, folks, don't get drunk. I mean, just don't do it.
You talk about kill your personal brain.
Oh, man.
I mean, you may as well set fire to it.
Set fired your personal brand.
Because it's hard to come back from that.
Yeah, because everybody's going to remember you for that instead of what your brand is.
Absolutely.
Folks, you're listening to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes. It's brought to you by GrowSocial.com. You can maximize social media like Facebook and Twitter for your business. Call Grow Social at 877-484-3961. We'll be right back. Don't go away. We're in the home stretch.
Turn up the sales on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Anything Internet will evaluate your website for marketing power, for traffic, for conversion rates. We'll figure out why people buy and why people go away. We'll help you generate the correct traffic that will turn into customers and make you money. Turn the juice up on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Turn your website into a web business. 1-800-686-5986.
Very often, people come to me saying,
Stephen, how do I make radio advertising work?
Or even worse,
we've tried radio ads before and got little to no response.
So how do you make the radio work for you? Well, you could have a clever jingle.
Come buy my stuff. Come buy my stuff.
Or you may act crazy and loud and have an unbeatable offer.
I'll save you cash. I'll save you time, and I'll do it today, guaranteed.
But these techniques may work for some and not for others. The real key to advertising is to go back to basic marketing principles. Target your ideal prospect, make your message clear and concise, and touch the listener by connecting to their needs. Stephen K. Media specializes in radio advertising promotion that effectively broadcasts your company's message, yielding higher response and better results. As an independent agency representing major talk radio stations, we help you negotiate rates and place your ads targeting your ideal prospect. Call us today at 713-278-9109 or visit stephenk.biz. That's 713-278-9109 or email info@stephenk.biz. Are you looking to improve your health and well-being? Have you lost your energy and vitality? Do you wake up feeling 10 years older than you actually are? Looking for a doctor who really listens? Looking for a natural alternative to your chronic health challenge? Dr. Dan Cooney is a chiropractic nutritionist who helps restore your health from the inside out using whole food supplements and specific nutritional counseling. Learn more about Dr. Dan's 7 Pillars of Health on his website, drdancooney.com, or give him a call at 713-295-9358.
Introducing the alternative to heavy news. Now at...
Excuse me, heavy news?
You know, disasters, politics, stock market.
And this alternative is...
Coffee news. It's entertaining stories, famous quotes, and family fun. It's light news. Why it's so light, it's free.
Free?
In restaurants and coffee shops all across Houston. So next time you're waiting in a restaurant, look for coffee news. If they don't have it, tell them to get it by visiting coffeenewshouston.com.
It's light. It's free. It's coffee news.
Now playing at Regal Entertainment Group Theaters.
From Christopher Nolan, the storm coming. The legend ends in IMAX. What are you? I'm Gotham Reckoning. The Dark Knight Rises. Rated PG-13. Visit IMAX.com for showtimes and listings.
Go to www.regmovies.com to find showtimes and buy your tickets to this and other great feature films now. That's www.regmovies.com.
You're listening to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes. Follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. We're wherever you are.
Okay, welcome back to the show. Irv and I have been talking today about networking. It's an essential and vital part of your business. It's what you use to build your business, build relationships, and you are nothing more than your relationships. If you need more resources, then you need more relationships. So if you've missed any part of this interview, definitely go to www.cruzandhughes.com. You can click on the archive section for Blog Talk Radio, and you can listen to it in its entirety. Now, Irv, you have a course that's coming up here at the end of the week. So if you're in the Houston area and you want to do business with the government, then they should attend this event. Yeah, you want to attend this event, and thank you for that, John. We're hosting a free seminar, and what we're doing is this is going to be on Friday, October 12th. We do it from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. We're going to be doing that over at the Kingdom Builder Center. And which is right on Orem, but you can go right to our website and get the information so that you can register. You can go to www.sbo, that's S as in Sam, B as in boy, O as in Oscar, the number 3, .eventbrite, that's EVENT, Bright,
BRITE.com, and you can register there. And it's a free event. John and I are going to be there. You're going to be there, John?
I'm going to be there.
Yeah. So John and I are going to be there, and we're going to be there for a couple of hours to talk to you about building your business, adding government sales as part of your business strategy. So that's what we're going to be talking about, and it's going to be some really great stuff we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the millionaire mindset. We're going to talk about business opportunities. We're going to talk about how to start and expand your supply business if you want to do that. It's going to be great.
You know what? We should probably take tomorrow and probably discuss a couple of these things.
Yeah, we'll drill down into some of that.
Yeah, kind of give them an overview of what to expect.
Sure, let's do it.
Guys, we want to thank you for tuning in to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes, which has been brought to you by Small Business Today magazine. It's the magazine that's for and about Houston's entrepreneurs. To get your free copy, you can always go to smallbusinesstodaymagazine.com. I'm John Cruz.
I'm Irv Hughes.
And this is the place where we discuss the topics that inspires entrepreneurs from thought to action. We will see you tomorrow. Be smart, be successful, and above all else,
be in action.
Irv and I'll see you tomorrow.